Welcome back. In this video, we look at the creative power of the words we use, especially the word I am and the things that we put after that. And I am not, I have not. And we're gonna look at the power, how this is strongly affecting our life, our manifestation, and our result. And most people don't even realize just how often they use the word I am to describe themselves, to describe what's happening, how they feel, and who they are. And because of that, it's controlling and shaping their own reality. So in this video, I'm gonna show you why you should avoid using certain I am and how you can actually change and reshape your reality and your identity to create better experiences for yourself, more abundance, whatever it is you want, through conscious use of the power of your words. Let's have a look. When people use words like I am not good enough, I am tired, I'm lazy, I'm shy, I'm this, I'm that, they don't realize that this is just a manifestation, a habitual subconscious manifestation of their self-image. They're speaking it that way because that is how subconsciously they see themselves. And so whether they're talking to other people, whether they're talking to themselves in their own head, we often use those kind of words, I am not, I have, and I have not, to describe who we are and what we have. The identification of things, object, relationship that we have that really create this structure, dynamic of our personality. And our personality creates our personal reality. That's why on this channel, I talk a lot about the self-image, the power of your identity, how it's creating, shaping, and driving the result and manifestation that you have in your life. And too often, this identity that we created over past experiences that come from so many experiences that brought to where we are today, we're not really aware of it. We are aware of some superficial level, but a lot of our identity and self-image is subconscious. And so we really have to pay attention to our thoughts, to the way we communicate to other people, the way we, tell stories, the way we explain and justify and rationalize where we are and what's happening in our life, because this always reflects to us, not what's happening around us, but what created what's happening around us. And this is a big difference, a massive difference once you understand this. Everything always leads back to how you see yourself, the state, and how it drives your manifestation. Recently, I had a client, okay? He's a coach and he wants to use his passion, his knowledge, and his enthusiasm to help and coach and transform other people's life and also make money at it, because why not? So it's something he has a lot of passion for. He has a lot of desire to recreate that level of success in his coaching business. The challenge is that he's struggling. He's struggling to put himself out there. He's struggling to get clients. He's getting rejected and he's procrastinating. As a result, he's lacking confidence and he doesn't know what to do moving forward. And so I started to listen to the stories he was telling me, to what he was saying. And, he used a lot of the words like, I'm not presenting very well. I'm not very sure I can help other people. I'm not fully believing in myself. So he was using a lot of those words, I am, and also I have and I have not. I'm not sure I have all the learnings I need, all the skills I need, all the certifications I need. All of this was reflecting to me how he saw himself, but also what he was lacking in his mind about why he was not creating and operating this kind of success that he wants. So simply listening to him gave me more than I needed to start helping him, to start to understand how he was devaluating himself, how he was not feeling worthy, how he was not seeing himself as a successful coach, but how he was seeing himself lacking, and how this was being manifested in other people, clients, and things around him rejecting him or him missing out on some clients and business, and why he was also procrastinating. So you see, everything could be linked back to the language we use, whether it's in your own head or to other people. And those often comes in stories when we introduce ourselves, stories when we tell people what we're doing, what we're not doing, and all these kind of things. And in his case, it was clear that he was rejecting himself, and that's why other people was also rejecting him. So what happened is that we needed to create a new self-image, a new identity where he could step up as a worthy, talented, successful, smart person who's helping, empowering, transforming other people's life. And that he had everything he needed to create that level of business, to sustain it and to grow it. So we needed to create that level of confidence. And so when we started to, do that and go at the subconscious level through imagination, relaxation, and some other physical embodiment tools, it became very clear through his physiology that when he started to enact that new self-image, his body didn't believe it. He was weak, and at some point when he said, "I am rich," he started laughing, like a couple of times. Every time he said, "I am rich," or "I'm charging X amount of money," or "I'm doing X," he started laughing a little bit. And that was the strongest indication for him, the convincer, that at the subconscious level, he was really not believing in his own word, in what he was trying to create. That's how far off his self-image current was toward what he needed to create in order to sustain the amount of money and career and business and impact he wants to create. So as we started to create that new self-image, his body started to shift, the posture started to shift, the energy, the voice tonality, the embodiment, the confidence, everything started to change in the body, because the body never lies. It's only reflecting what you hold in your mind. And if you can condition yourself with repetition and new words and new stories, you can actually start to change all those subconscious programs that are shaping and creating and perpetuating your reality, whatever it is that you want to create in your life. You gotta start speaking as if it's done right now. You cannot keep on telling the stories of what's lacking, what's missing, what you don't have, what you're not, and expecting things to change. And this is where the first thing happens, where people get hooked up, so to speak, is that when I get successful, when I get happy, when I get the girl, the man, the money, the thing, the car, then I'll change my self-image and the speak and what I say about myself. It's very much outcome-based change. When something happens, then I'll change, then I'll be, then I'll know, then I'll feel. But you got it in reverse, because if you understand the power of conscious creation, it's now your self-image, your identity, what you're affirming, what you're telling right now is what is creating your reality. So I want you to do this in your life. I want you to really first monitor your self-speech, what you tell to yourself and what you tell to other people, especially with the word I am not, I have, and I have not. Those 4 words, whatever you put after those. And anything that is negative and strongly repeating, meaning you think about it or you talk about it often, I want you to write it down in a little book, a little piece of paper, on your phone, wherever you have it. Because once you become aware of that belief, I want you to hunt it so that it never slips your awareness. And I want you to replace that story, that word, that sentence, whatever it is. You can no longer live and abide by that belief. Because if you keep telling yourself, I'm too slow, I'm shy, I'm not good enough, I'm not talented enough, I don't have enough money, I have no experience, and all this kind of self-devaluating stories about why you don't, why you can't, why you're not there kind of thing, you will continue to perpetuate that state. You have to find those thoughts that you have, because those thoughts are not in itself anything, but in itself they represent the manifestation of your self-image. So your self-image is creating all those thoughts and the feelings that come with it so that you can remain consistent with it. And so as you find them and as you start to affirm the opposite through your imagination, and I have a lot of video that supports how you can do that in step-by-steps, or through affirmation or to writing or to whatever works for you, doesn't even matter. I'll tell you what works for me: imagination and speaking out loud in mental conversation. So I'm going to have a conversation with somebody and I'm going to tell them why I'm successful, how things are going well, what has changed in my life, how it's going, in a way that I want it to be. Okay? That's how I'm priming my new self-image. So they are not just one way, everything works in your own way. Just find what works for you, or you can use all the tools that I share in this channel. But you have to find the thought, the I am, not good enough, not worthy. I don't have the money. I don't have the relationship. I don't have the look. I don't have the expertise. I am not that. I'm not like them. All these kind of thoughts that are not the truth, but that you believe are true. You need to disconnect from them, because as long as you live by those and you keep telling them, you keep on perpetuating and creating those, reinforcing those beliefs at the subconscious level. And so what's going to happen is that you're going to experience the reality of those beliefs, whether they're true or not, because your subconscious mind is going to accept the idea. So I want you to stop telling things as they are or as they have been and as you've seen yourself. And I want you to start telling it, expressing yourself, describing yourself as you want it to be. Even if it's just for yourself right now, in your own imagination, seeing yourself, telling yourself, having and being that person. Because once you start to adopt this new attitude, once you start to adopt this new I am and I have, and you perpetuate it and you have, emotion and repetition with it, you start to reprogram the subconscious mind, and then you start to see evidence around it that will support the new belief. And above all, I want you to stop devaluating yourself. I want you to stop thinking so little of yourself, whether it's in relationship, in looks, in finance, in money, in work, in whatever it is. Stop seeing yourself as weak, as average, as normal, as not good enough, as shy, as this and lacking and not this and not that. You have to start seeing yourself in your best, most successful, most authentic, most loving, most caring, most abundant light. Because nobody else can do that for you, and people will only reflect back to you how you see yourself. So if you want your relationship with other people to change, start changing how you see yourself, but also how you see other people. This is critical. Stop devaluating yourself. You will never benefit from that. There's nothing fucking humble about putting yourself down, about criticizing yourself, and about devaluating yourself. You have to own your self-worth, that you're worthy of everything that you want, because life only gives you what you think and what you believe that you're worthy to receive. And so you have to start creating that new identity. So write down on a piece of paper all the negative I ams. Notice the top 3, 4 that are mostly repetitive, and make a commitment that you will not let them pass by your mind, your awareness again, without replacing them, without starting to tell a new story, without starting to tell other people how things are great, how great you are, how lucky you are, what you appreciate, what's going well, and start to create and rehearse in your own mind, being, acting, and embodying and having what you want in your life. And I promise you, if you do that, you will see the result. But do not fall into the trap of when I get the money, when I get the girl, when this happened or when that happened, then I'll feel confident. Then I'll work on my self-image. Then I'll put in the work. Because you're going to wait a long freaking time. It is first and always aligning your self-image, identity, and letting that identity help you, guide you, and bring you what you need to make your vision a reality. So go do it, guys. I'll see you next time.